Today we're going to be taking a look at something from a category of product that I have never reviewed before. Are you ready? But before we get in the video, hi, my name is Ryan Treadaway, founder of treadawaytraining.com, where we turn skinny guys into jacked men. If you're interested in working with us to achieve your body transformation goals, click the link down in the description. Cereal. One thing that I love but rarely eat is cereal, because I always tell people to think about your calorie intake as a budget. You have so many calories available to spend each day, and just because you can fit something into your budget doesn't mean you should fit something into your budget. I could fit a brand new Corvette into my budget, but just because I can make the payment on a brand new Corvette doesn't mean that that's the smartest thing that I can spend that money on. And for that reason, I very rarely eat cereal because it's just not worth the calorie cost for me personally. Future Ryan here, adding on to my previous point, in addition to cereals typically being high in calorie, most cereals are just refined grains and sugar. And the problem with that is those things are, one, high in calorie, but two, not filling at all. So you've probably noticed if you eat a bowl of cereal for a snack, you're headed back to the pantry a little bit later because it didn't fill you up. But when we're talking about protein, protein is very filling. So when you eat a bowl of protein cereal, you're gonna be nice and full afterwards and not having that, okay, what am I gonna eat next feeling. That's where this comes into play. When I heard that Transparent Labs was putting out a protein cereal, I was like, hey guys, you've gotta send me this to check it out. So we've got two different flavors that are here for review. We've got Fruity Splash and Cocoa Crunch. And then just looking at the labels here, they're pretty similar for each. 180 calories for a 60 gram serving, 190 calories for a 60 gram serving. You got 10 fat, 11 fat. We've got 26 carbs, 25 carbs, 1 gram of sugar in each. And then we've got 20 grams of protein in each. And as always with the products from Transparent Labs, there's no artificial sweeteners, colors, or flavoring. That's also gluten-free if you have a gluten allergy, or if you have issues with blood sugar, diabetic, no sugars added as well, 1 total gram of sugar. Now I have to admit, before trying this, I am a little bit skeptical about the taste because from past experience, when you take things that are normally not protein things and try to make them into protein things, they just don't usually taste quite right. Example, protein chips. They're okay if you're on a diet, they're pretty good. But if you are not on a diet and you have more calories to play with and you can fit in some regular potato chips, those two things simply don't compare to each other. And so I'm wondering how good we're gonna be in the taste department here, especially considering the fact that we have 1 total gram of sugar with each of these things. If these taste good, then I'm concerned that there might be some type of wizard on the staff at Transparent Labs. But that's enough rambling. Let's try these. Oh no, my bag got ripped. We'll go ahead and try it. Ooh, that poured out way faster than I intended. They both smell good. It smells like Cocoa Puffs. Whether or not it tastes like Cocoa Puffs, that's gonna be the trick. I got way more than I intended. Let's just put a lot of this back. My hands are clean, guys, so it's okay that I'm just grabbing this with my meaty man hands and shoving it back in the box. And this one, yeah, this one was damaged, so I'm still gonna taste it, but I don't know if I'm gonna eat the whole thing. So first, let's get a dry taste test on the Fruity Splash cereal. It's pretty good so far. Now the thing from experience with protein flavored puffs or protein flavored chips or anything like that is not so much the initial taste. A lot of times they initially taste good, but then they have a weird aftertaste after the fact. So far, no weird aftertaste. I'm genuinely surprised. Honestly, I thought that I'm just gonna go ahead and ruin the taste test final verdict for the dry taste. I thought going into this that my verdict was going to be that it'll be good if you're on a low calorie diet. If you don't have the calories to fit actual cereal in your diet, this would be a good substitute and kind of something to fill that gap there. But if you had the calories for it, to not buy this, to just eat your protein from meat or a protein shake or whatever and have regular cereal. But this actually tastes really good. I'm not even kidding, I'm genuinely surprised here. Cocoa Crunch, dry taste test, pretty good. Really good. I know the camera's rolling, but I kind of just want to sit here and eat some of this for a minute. Now I will say it's not quite as sweet as something like Cocoa Puffs. It's got more of like a dark chocolate kind of taste to it, but it is still pretty sweet. Doesn't have that weird protein aftertaste. It's really tasty. All right, let's add some milk. Whoop. Stir this up a little bit. That's pretty good. Are you guys okay with just sitting here watching me eat a whole bowl of cereal? Cocoa Crunch with the milk. The milk does this one a little bit more of a favor than it does with this one. This one's good dry or with milk. This one is good dry, as you could tell by my reaction a moment ago, but adding the milk definitely takes it up. I wish I could just like hand you guys a bite of this, give you a big spoonful right through the camera there. So I'm just gonna sit here and eat the whole thing, and I'll be back in a second with the rest of the review. So I did actually eat both of those bowls of cereal, and what I did notice interestingly with the Fruity Splash specifically is it was actually more flavorful without adding the milk. At first, when you added the milk to it, it tasted about the same, and of course, cereal and milk is always really good. But since it sat here while I ate the chocolate, it's almost like the flavor seeped out of the puffs and into the milk. And so when I was eating the puffs, there was a lot less flavor to the puffs versus if you just ate them dry. Now, I don't know anyone who pours cereal and pours milk and then waits 5 minutes to eat the cereal, But if for some reason you did have to step away from your cereal and come back to it, it will lose a little bit of the flavor. But I don't think that's really going to be an issue for any of you watching, because if you eat the cereal within a normal time window that you would typically eat cereal, it's still going to have the full flavor there. But it was an interesting thing that I noticed. Finishing up the flavor portion of this review, surprisingly, they both get 2 thumbs up from me. And I'm gonna say that they taste good, not only from the perspective of, hey, they taste good for something made of protein. They both taste good just as a cereal. Like, compared against other cereals, they taste good. Now, is this gonna be as sweet as something like Cocoa Puffs? No. Is this gonna be as sweet as something like Trix, I guess would be the closest thing? I've not eaten cereal in a long time. No, but they are both very darn tasty. And that just leaves us with the price. Of course, protein cereal is gonna be a little bit more expensive than regular cereal. And these are $14.99 per box, which is around the same price as other protein cereals that I have seen online. And one of the things that I do want to point out is that there was a little box that you could check for one-time purchase. I don't know if they're planning on doing some type of like subscribe and save type thing, or if they're planning to do something where you can buy, you know, multiple boxes for a discount. So if you're watching this video in the future, keep that in mind as well. But as of the time of recording, they're $14.99 per box. So pretty expensive for cereal, but around the same price as the other protein cereals that are on the market. Now for the final verdict in my reviews, rather than just giving a blanket yes or no, I like to give my recommendations in terms of who would I recommend this for specifically. And in this case, I would pretty much give it a blanket recommendation. If you're okay spending the money, because again, it is $15 per box for this cereal. If you don't mind spending the money, give this a try. It genuinely tastes really good. If you're interested in purchasing this cereal, first link down in the description. If you're interested in working with us to achieve your body transformation goals, second link down in the description. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you next week. Forgot my milk! I'm gonna put some of this back. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this back because I'm not planning on eating all this right now. This is more of a taste test.